hello, my lovely nerds. I hope you're all having a good day and everything. So, today is normally when we are playing New Rollis, but unfortunately, some of our players were getting down with the bug. They got up and they got down with the flu. So, I hope cast members, you better be drinking your water, your vitamins, your vitamin C, get that OJ, get all them fruits, veggies, that tea, blankies, stuffies, comforters, and be good, okay? Get that good rest. Okay. All right. So today, my lovely nerds, we are gonna be doing some fun stuff. It is another D&D, another DM lecture and everything. So everybody, get in your seats. Class is now in. Good Lord. Okay. Class is now in session. All right. Let's get this done, shall we? Okay, so first things first. Okay, so what are we going to be doing today? I should not be doing multiple things at once. It does not work for me. It does not work. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna put you aside. You specifically, this window that I'm looking at and all that stuff. So yeah. Okay, so today we are, like the title says, we are going to be talking about how to write a campaign. Camera, what the hell? Okay, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, camera. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. I saw a freeze there for a little bit, and I was just like, nope. Okay, that should work. Okay, that should. Okay. Yeah. Yes, but hello. All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to write a campaign, because one of the main things you got to do when you comes to your D&D session. Hey, what's up, Elise? How's it goes? Come on in. We're doing a little class lecture today. So, writing a campaign is probably one of the more important things when doing a game when it comes to any TTRPGs in general, whether it is D&D, Vampire the Masquerade, Pathfinder, Daggerheart in general. Those are the things that you need to do to actually run a game and everything. And this applies to pretty much to all structures for campaigns. That's like for your one-shots, your mini campaigns, or your full-length campaigns. You want to figure out the methods to write it and everything. And there are some elements of writing campaign that you can apply with story, but campaign writing for TTRPGs in general is a different type of art. It is a different format, a different style of storytelling, and not all of the tools that are being used in said format are going to be used in the same way when it comes to that style that you're writing in. Even if you're like a seasoned writer in one style, trying to do it in another is going to be really, really hard, because with TTRPGs, you have to be able to do something where it's like you're laying kind of like the bone structure of it all, but you're still leaving the wiggle room for DMs and players to explore and expand and everything, because some of the stuff you might write for your campaigns and stuff isn't going to be 100% solid. You could have something that's gonna be there and everything, but they might just not engage with it or miss it completely, and that has happened. That's happened with Critical Role and everything. There are key elements that and little secrets that people have missed on when they weren't they haven't done it, and so it's hey, well, no. But yeah, so when writing a campaign and everything, you want to be able to come up with a concept and everything. You want to, first off, come up with a concept, your hook. What is your elevator pitch? You don't need to go, do a full 5-page info dump on, everything that's going on in said campaign or one-shot, mini-campaign, everything. Well, actually, switch that, reverse that, rewind that. What you want to do and everything, I would say, pretty much be a 1 to 2 paragraph limit pitch of your campaign that you want to do. this is going to be easy for you as a DM writing said thing, because that way you're able to like not go like full in depth of like going full straight ahead and then getting lost. So like, all right, where to go? I have so many other options, what's going on and everything. So you know that, right? Like, yeah, something like that. Okay, because yeah. It's like making yourself a little pitch to kind of like remind. It's a summary of everything that you want to do. Like for example, for me, I would like to do a full werewolf D&D like mini campaign and everything. Not a werewolf the apocalypse campaign. No, I want to do a D&D-esque campaign where everybody is a werewolf and it's very much being able to kind of be able to kind of like explore oneself and like really find that. So you have that concept already, and then you can build upon that. Yeah, what's up, Ryder? How's it goes? Yeah, werewolf. Yes. Like like I've said before, I honestly, I remember I said something about like I did say it. I did say in a TikTok that D&D, like Wizard of the Coast, I don't care about vampires so much. I don't really care. Give me more werewolf content. Give me more werewolf content for expanded rules and everything. Some of the werewolves, same here. So like, honestly, I prefer werewolves over vampires. Vampires suck. Both literally and figuratively. I love werewolves a lot more. I feel like werewolves are better and everything, and they're so underutilized. They're so underrated and everything. But that's a topic for different discussion. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Robin? Yeah. 3 years of fun indeed. Yeah. Fun fact: I have a legitimate fear of vampires. Ah, yeah. Well, okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that, homie. Yeah. We also know you look like one. I look like a werewolf? I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. I feel like I know it's a compliment. I feel no, that is a compliment and everything. But like, do I radiate werewolf energy? Oh lordy. Do we have to pull off the? Yeah, no, that's fair. That is totally fair. That is low key. Yep. Okay. Yeah. You know what? That's fair. That's fair and makes me happy. That makes me very happy. You got to pull the last video you had. That last video your hair giving. Yeah. I got a haircut. And yeah, I wanted to keep the length of it. I like when my hair is like that long and stuff. It was just like it was getting a little bit poofy and it was starting to get curls. And I said, "Oh, shape it up and everything." But somehow the hair salonist was like, "Next gift for maybe a werewolf." Yeah. Oh, thank you. But back on track here. So let's run with this concept of like I want to run a werewolf D&D as like mini campaign and everything. All right, that's pretty cool. So that's going to be awesome. You have your bone structure of it. And so with that and everything, here comes the other bits and pieces that may be fun for you or maybe not, depending on what kind of writer you are and everything. You're gonna have to start building a world. There are settings out there you can use as like a backdrop and everything. God, what's the? Oh God, what's? I was trying to go. What's the? Oh God, my brain like farted like. What's the Greek Roman inspired one and everything? It started with an M. D&D. Not Mistra. No, fuck Mistra. Theros. What's Greek is that? What's the Greek what? Yes, Theros. There are plenty of setting campaign books that you can use to put in the backdrop of your game and everything, like Theros, Taldore, like. I don't know if I don't think there's a Ravenloft like setting. There is. There's also the Ravnica like setting. There's a plenty of like books out there that can give you like the world building of your game and everything, and so you don't have to do that. But if you're someone who's like, you know what, I want to build a whole world based around this concept for this campaign and everything, then you're gonna have to start doing the homework of, hey, I have to do world building. And oh, world building. Oh, world building. World building. All right, I'm not the best when it comes to world building. I'm very much a character and story writer. That is my bread and butter. That is what I'm good at, and I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it because trying to do like world building when it comes to just like on a Google Doc and everything, it's gonna be. I mean, you can do it on a Google Doc and everything, but it's kind of like for my autistic ADHD ass, is just like very much of like, all right, go crazy, go bananas, go stupid, go just like we have too much less. We need like some structure to like help out with like templates and everything. The struggle with the story part. Yeah, and I will totally get to the story part. And I will get to the story building part. That's my bread and jam. It's my bread and butter and everything. But I want to like show you. But I want to talk about like some places that you can use, some programs that you can use that are for free and everything. They do have like premium stuff and everything and all that stuff. But these are programs that have a lot of meat on their bones when it definitely comes to like doing world building stuff and everything. There is sites like, you probably know them before and everything, you've heard them. World Anvil, that's like one of the more popular like world building sites and everything that provides like a whole bunch of cool structures and templates and categories for like your world, for your NPCs, the history of it, all that jazz and everything. One of my personal favorites that I do like to use a lot is LoreForge. LoreForge is it's a free program as well and everything. And you can download it on your computer and everything. You don't have to go on a website on it and everything like World Amble. You can download it on your computer, and they very much have a very specific ways you can categorize with stories, characters, tags, and you can categorize people in an organization, cultures, species, locations, discoveries. All that jam is also good. And like having those like little like category channels to help you out to kind of figure out like what to do and everything, that's going to help out with just give you that structure of like, all right, where to go, what to do, where do I come from, Cotton Eye Joe kind of deal. Lordy. Lord. Yes. So LoreForge is one of them. That's my personal recommendation. There's also like this really good one out there that I found. Hey, Alyssa, how's it goes? That I found recently when I was scrolling through TikTok. Well, not TikTok. When I was scrolling, goddamn, when I was scrolling through Instagram. Yeah. It is called VVD. It is a modern storytelling kit. Yes, it's a site you can use. It is really, really cool. You can have your maps of your world of it. You can have like your campaigns in there. You can have it for your just like build of the world. Okay, actually, let me show you the program and everything. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, we're gonna have to. Okay, I want to show you guys what this looks like and everything because it's a really good program. Okay. Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay. Here's what it looks like. Here is what it looks like and everything. This is really cool. Yeah, it is. Very, very free and everything. Very, very like again, there is a pricing and everything because like, and look at the price for this bad boy. This is like honestly really cool. Like $5 per month, $10. I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything. These are just really, really cool, and these were designed by really cool like artist people and everything. But yeah, all right. Let me show you how this works and everything. Oh, do I have to log in? Okay, no, I don't have to log in. Okay, let me show you because I'm starting to like put it Odalise in here and everything, and so. You can have like a whole bunch of able to customize and everything. There's this whole world graph right here for like the world characters and like there's a whole wiki that you can build and like do for your campaign so that way your players can also have like a hub space to like check out and what to do and everything. It's that there's really fun and stuff. And there's also places for like Yeah, and just like nice little like effects that you can do for your stuff, for like the stuff, and also in your campaigns and stuff, you can also put your party in here and stuff, so that way they have access to it, and you can change it. Like I have 4 in right now, does this and all that, and then you can like plan out the sessions of what's going to be and everything. Like these are really really good. This is like really really cool. It also provides like kind of like nice music in the background and all that stuff. I really do like this program. It's really cool. It is vvd dot sh and everything. So yeah, go check them out and everything to really help out with like world, to kind of like give you structure to like world build and everything. But world building very much is like, it is scary and everything. So, and if you're not used to world building, like I am and everything, like just start with a town. Just start with like a popular city town, and then when you get more comfortable building the history of that town and everything, you can take the training wheels off and try a different town, and then the town after that, and then the town after that, and then sooner or later you're gonna have like a full whole ass country that you can have your players roam around and everything. That's what I'm doing. That's what I did with New Wallace and everything, because I was terrified of like, okay, I don't have a lot of experiences when it comes to just like building an entire world on my own and everything. Like I have never done that and everything. So I'm gonna start myself small, because that's what I think everybody should be doing if you're jumping into a small portion of the new format of writing that you're doing, so that way you don't get overwhelmed and everything, to be like, all right, here's what it feels like, get adjusted to it, all that stuff. But starting with New Rawless, I very much learn to like building a town, really working on like the intricacies, what makes it click, what makes it unique, what makes it very much a town that has its flavor, and it doing a campaign set in one town really is a good training focus for you to be able to like train that brain of like, all right, why does this city is important to these people? Why are they staying here? And who are the possible people in that town that can cause like these conflicts, these everything? Because there are always going to be conflicts in towns and everything that you can build upon, whether it's big or small and everything. That's always unique. That is always really, really cool. I love discussion that is happening on the same night around the decide to seriously build my first guy. Hells yeah, and of course, and I could also do like when it's not like when a New Rawless night and everything. I can totally do like a D&D like stream talk of like how to build a character for D&D. I think if you guys want to see that, but we're focusing on Rawless and Tales Guild here. Okay, but yeah. That is what something I would say to do and everything when you're first starting off like world building and everything. But if you are comfortable with world building and everything like that, you love building the world, you love building these cities and giving them the personalities, you love going into the history of what intricacies, factions, political ideals and everything that kind of like reflective to the world and everything, that is good. That is good. I'm glad you got that and everything. So here comes my bread and butter, the story, the story, because you're gonna need a story when it comes to a campaign and everything and all that stuff. So, I think very much so, when it comes to a one shot, basically, it is a one shot. It is like, it's very, very simple to write a one shot. Essentially, because you don't have to go too fully invested of what is happening. I feel, to me, one shots are pretty loosey goosey. They're like they're very like free form, very fun. There's no pressure whatsoever, and depending on what the one shot is set in and everything and all that stuff, it can be kind of like a nice also like refresher training and all that stuff to get experience and everything, and like. You can also use the one shot as like a testing ground to be like, all right, maybe the one shot I've written here that's for like a mission and everything, that can be used and like revise into a better storyline for my campaign and everything. I feel like that's also something to do as a leg and everything. But when you're having a game sessions, when you're having like a campaign that is longer than a one shot, everything like a mini campaign or a full length campaign, I feel like very much so that you definitely need to do the 3-act structure, and then, well, the 3-act structure along with the introductory arc and everything. Mini campaigns is a little bit harder when it comes to having like an introduce like an inductory, inductory, that's the word, having an introductory not campaign, an introductory arc and everything, because like mini campaigns are pretty much like 12 to like the mini campaigns can range from like 6 episodes to like 12 sessions to even like 20 and everything. So you're gonna have to like streamline a little bit and everything when it comes to that. And like I think when it comes to that and everything, you want to look into kind of like Dimension 20 of how Bernard Mulligan, Abria Ironguard, and all the other people who have DM'd on there on how they do those those mini campaigns and stuff, because they're generally about like 20 episodes or 13 or even 6 and everything. But story wise, you want the main hook. You want the main hook written for yourself and everything. Like, actually, no. Scratch that. Rephrase. You want like a 2-sided coin and everything. Do I have a coin? I do not have a coin. We're gonna actually, you know what? We're gonna use a dice here. We're gonna use no, that D6 is ugly. Why do I have that D6? I can't. No. Wow. I am toxic. I'm calling a D6 ugly. Wow, that is how I get canceled, guys. No, we're gonna use this big ass D6 and everything. So you want because there are many sides when it comes to a story and everything. So say, for example, the players are gonna be seeing this side right here. This is what they see in general. The first face-fronting story, the kind of like the main reason why they're playing the game and everything. Like there is something going on. That also includes of like the hook. It is the hook of what everyone's doing. Like for New Rollis and everything, the hook is, for that and everything, gang warfare 1920. And that evolved into something deeper that I had in my pocket, which was very much a hidden faction that was all tied together, trying to get back a town that was stolen from them. Which the DM will see the multiple different sides of that dice. So you want to have kind of like the surface hook story along with that. It could be very much like the main hook, the main plot of the first arc, or even like the introductory arc and everything. And then when they go further and further, you can do slow integrations of said main plot and everything. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I want to check in with you guys. Does that make sense? I hope the visuals are making sense with these pretty cool clicky clacks. I got these at Gen Con, and I got them through a prize and everything. They're really, very nice. I do like having these big ass dices and stuff. But yeah, okay. So speaking of stories and stuff, when you are writing your story for your D&D or any tabletop RPG campaign, you're going to be reminded either gently or brutally, depending on what happens in the table, that sometimes not everything that you have written goes exactly as planned. It does not. I mean, you could like write out a full detailed like roadmap of where things go and everything, but there are things that you're not going to be able to predict. All right, it's just impossible. There are too many equations and chaos of possibilities out there that you cannot see anything. So, and it's going to be even more painful as the DM writing something that you have to make up on the fly after like not giving yourself the loose flexibility structure to like take that impact that might happen. So you want to do things and not in the bare bones. You want to provide at least some skeletons. You want to provide the skeleton structure along with some of the organs. And with it and everything, as the campaign goes on and everything, you can put on the muscles, the tissues, the nerves, the skin, the other good stuff that bodies need to live and breathe and all that stuff, and fully flesh it out. Now, even no, depending on where you are in the middle of the campaign and stuff, they're still going to like beat some bumps or changes that are going to be like, yo, and everything. Because again, we're playing games that have a probability chance with dices, and dices will fuck you over. They are not your friends. They can be your friends, but they're more kind of a neutral, chaotic third party. They they serve no master. They only serve numbers and chance. So pretty much like that. And yeah, giving yourself the structure of pretty much like doing that is going to soften the blow when those things happen. Now, for mainline stories and everything, for me personally, I like weaving because mainline story is good to figure out and everything because I feel like building a mainline story that involves the BBEG or whatever going on and everything, you want to build a core cast of antagonists that are generally involved with it in some ways. There might be on lower ends of like the pole, depending on the higher people and everything, and then very much so getting kind of like a vibe of it and having your own structure with it. And also having them interact with your party, with the party, is like also fun and giggles and everything, because that also builds other storylines that you can do and stuff. Now, with D&D in general, especially with how players have their backstories and stuff and everything, but people, you want to very much, this is like a bonus tip and everything. I know we're talking about writing a campaign and everything, but bonus tip, players love having their backstories included and stuff. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Bakesmith? Yeah, I bring Bailey's Irish cream chocolate. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. Oh man, I wish food could be teleported through digital aspects. That'd be awesome. But yeah. Yeah, so one of my personal favorite things is like having what that makes players feel that their backstories, yeah, I need to get some Bailey, yeah, that makes players feel like they have that their backstories is like very special and everything, because players' backstories are special. They're special to the player because they've written that out. They have structured it. That's like a part of themselves. They're part of the story that they want to contribute to the campaign. And the DM, who is the campaign writer, his job is to like integrate that into the game and also talk with the player of like, all right, how do you want to like incorporate this as well? Your players become the co-writer when it comes to their backstory, and if they have like special characters or like NPCs from their said backstory, it also a trick that I like to do and everything and all that stuff is having some, not all, having some NPCs or elements of their backstory be weaved into the main story. Brennan Lee Mulligan does this a lot when it comes to his games in Dimension 20, especially when it comes to Fantasy High and Starstruck Odyssey, how there's also these little elements and everything, and they're all kind of like, they always find a way to like find them and be able to like catch up, and like a nice like a ghostly reminder of like, these are people that are affecting all of you and they will chase after you and stuff. So yeah, cookies, pictures in the corner of the Discord. All right, I will check that out later. Yeah, but no, I think very much so to do that is very, very good. Okay. Yeah, very, very, very much so. So yeah, having backstories from your players is also going to help out the structure of what the story is going to be told and everything, because having your pitch, having your main idea of what the campaign is going to be out is going to like fill out like 45% of it, and then the rest of it is going to be the player's backstory with the 55%, and then with all of that together, you can construct the world. Yeah, like Baron from the Baroness showing up possessing different characters. Exactly. That is some good shit. When you are able to, and also it's brain farted. Like also having backstories, arcs, and everything. Like okay, so backstory arcs are always cool when it comes to campaigns and everything and all that stuff. Long form campaigns and everything and all that stuff. You can do like when the opportunity arises with like character choices and player choices and everything. I feel like the perfect amount for like player's backstory arc and everything is going to be like 3 sessions, three sessions, 4 possibly, but I just like 3 because it's a trifecta. This is like a nice number to like go in and everything, and also that is a method you can do. Like for mini campaigns as well, you can definitely do like the whole weave thing that which I like to do in my long form campaigns as well. I think I like to pepper in like little backstory stuff from the players and kind of like incorporate and really their spices of their backstory gives the world flavor, and that really helps them get more invested with the story of the world and all that stuff. So yeah. I was gonna say next. Okay. More yeah, we're still on the storytelling bit. Okay. So you have a basic, so you have your concept, you have your hook and everything, and you have your hidden like your hidden you have the hidden stuff, hidden like goals and adventures that's just like that can be unburied from like the first introductory stuff of the stuff and everything. So what I very much feels like in everything is like, who is the core main villain of the game? Who is going to be the core main villain of your campaign and everything? And then you work around backwards and everything, like for very much the founding fathers, particularly Kenneth Edwards, because well, let's use Kenneth Edwards as the fuckboy of the shit and everything. So Kenneth Edwards is the BBEG of the campaign for New Rollis right now and everything. It was formerly the Rakshasa, but he died, and then Kenneth came in with his very, very expensive shoes, shirt, and suit and everything. Be like, my turn, bitches. And so, yeah. Kenneth is very much like a politician blackmailer dude who uses his ability to like influence and blackmail to get other things. So what is going to be his structure of attack and everything? Is he going to be the aggressor, the manipulator, the one from the shadows? And very much so, what is the BBG's game plan to get their mission across? And then you can work backwards from that. Like, how do the other people in his group kind of like work with that, or what are their methods and everything? Is there like some conflict between one another? Are they all for? Are they kind of like somewhat against and from their own factions against him and everything? And then you can also build upon people reacting to said BBEG and everything. Very much so like that. Very, very so much like that and everything, you know? Yeah, yeah, and like, and then from just going from like the bad people, you can just go from the good people and all that, and how like all that stuff, like the heroes are trying to fight back, or even like the normal people just trying to live out their daily lives, or even like very much like the royalty or the higher ups trying to be like, okay, how do we do this and everything. Yeah, okay. Do you give us a chance to respect at level 13 to show us the growth? Yeah, definitely. In the game. VR pause training for a pause modification. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I want to switch from armor to battles. Yeah. And then also, yeah, and I think also as a matter of fact of like, that's another thing, like a nice little bonus thing. If your players want to respect and everything within the campaign, let them do it. And you can find like, I think a way to like, if you want to incorporate ways to like elements of the story to very much say, hey, here's what we got and everything. You want to change some stuff? Cool, we can put that in the game and all that. It makes sense. Like how Matt Mercer does with Bo's stuff of like learning new techniques when she's sparring with her supervisor and everything, and like using those new abilities. Like that's cool. That's really cool and everything. So yeah. What I was going to say. Okay. So yeah, we're going to still do more story stuff here and everything, because it's very, very important and all that stuff. So storytelling stuff, when it comes to TTRPGs, I like to think of it as breaking it down into arcs. you really want to do it in an arc-like structure and everything. Like, I think very much so, how you want to do it is very much you want like your one main mission to like that can advance the story and everything, and like three side quests elements that can really that are connected to like the main story and like main mission that progresses the story and everything. But also don't be afraid to kind of like after like the side quest is done to kind of like build like a nice little road that's like on the grass path and everything to be like, hey, there's this that gives the players the opportunity like, oh, this side quest is like connected to them in a way. This is interesting. And that kind of gets them more interested and intrigued to like, okay, what's more of the story that's going to happen and stuff? On the planet, we're currently behind the enemy lines and spies. My character was conscripted to becoming a chef or person to infiltrate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, no. Arcs are going to be your best friends. They are going to be your best friend when it comes to writing TTRPGs and everything. Look at how, very much so, how comic books and like mangas do their arc structure and everything. How they very much like they have like they have their main storyline arcs and everything. They have it like sometimes they even break it down to like parts and all that stuff, like Naruto Shippuden and everything, Jujutsu Kaisen with Mulatto and all that stuff, and other things and everything. But very much so, study how they structure the arcs and everything, of how it's just like, all right, slice the pie, this part of the arc, ooh, kind of leads a little bit more into that and everything. And then a little bit more in that. Yeah, the person we're trying to recruit is Tanya Aircraft. Ooh, nice. So, yeah. That's how I like to do it. It very much gives me, because I'm a very visual person, and like it kind of gives that idea of like, all right, that's how you should format it and stuff. And depending on what the players do and everything, it's going to be dependent on how the arc is doing and how it's done and all that stuff, or if they just want to like move around the world. And also, I know, like, no one wants to be the railroady DM and everything. No one wants to do that and everything. That's like because player wants to feel that freedom of choice and everything. But I don't think it should be like, there is the railroad DM of like, okay, that's like the big fear and like thing that you shouldn't do and everything. What I think we should probably make a terminology for is that probably make like a not a gravel, kind of like a brickstone road and everything. I'm gonna throw my characters and still friend in the Discord. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, you want to like be very much kind of like your players are going on paths into like a park. Yeah, going to the park and everything. There are kind of like the roads that are made for like the hikers and everything to walk on and stuff. Hey, thank you for the resub, Thamian. Thank you so much. 45 months. Oh, god damn. That sub baby is almost 3 years. Jesus Christ. Much appreciated. But yeah. Very much so like that. Like the format, think of it as that way. You are a park person able to like carve out these paths for hikers to walk safely and stuff. Now, if there is like an extra path that has been made kind of like over time in nature and everything, and they can check out, and you have like already checked out on that path to be like, okay, this is like a safe place you can go and everything. It's not the main road and everything, but it's gonna like lead you back and everything. Like that's good. Always make sure like when your player is like quote unquote go off the rails and everything, there's a path for them to get back to like the main story and all that stuff and everything. Like don't be afraid to let the main story haunt the narrative. Like we know about characters that haunts the narrative. Okay, spoilers for Demon Slayer and everything. Yeah, I threw in D&D talk. Okay, cool. Yeah, spoilers for Demon Slayer. It's been out for like forever. Well, let's talk about Rengoku and everything. We all know about Rengoku, the Flame Hashira best boy who died way too early, which still sickens and saddens me. Just god damn. His effect, his character still haunts and affects the stories of all the cast members and the other Hashira members, Mr. Donut Rengoku, no! How dare you? How dare you? How he affects the story of and all that stuff. Even when they're off on a different path, they still have these moments where it's reflective and gets them to haunt them and still there and all that stuff. Yeah. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, I hope that makes sense and everything. But yeah, like don't be afraid to kind of like bring the ghost of the story back up to the players and being like, hey, this story is here and everything. I know you're like checking things out and other things and everything, but here is other thing that's happening in the world. And also, do not be afraid for your story to have the teeth to fight back against the players and everything and all that stuff. Do not be afraid to show how vicious your story can be if they're kind of fucking around and everything. Like don't maim them to the point where they're like on the ground, almost dead, no arms, no legs, no pride and everything. Like, no, like, have it just like bare the teeth and everything, and like at most give them a scratch. If they continue to fuck around and find out, then it's gonna get messy and everything. He has the same death. He has the same death as Donut Ace. No, you bastard! You bring up Ace. You bring up Ace. You bring up Ace and his deadbeat dad garb. Oh, God. No, he's not a deadbeat dad. Well, he's kind of a deadbeat. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's a little more. Okay, we're not going to talk about One Piece right now. I could talk about a lot about One Piece, but we're talking about this. But yeah, do not be afraid for your story to have the teeth to haunt the players, depending on the choices or lack of engagement of that happens and stuff, and have that story find them and bear at them to show this story is a serious thing that you have made and everything and all that stuff. You know, don't be afraid of that. More importantly, what was I gonna say? One cool thing that will help you write a story and everything is like writing up those like side quests or like key NPCs that you want your players to meet everything, in writing out like their missions, like their quest and everything. That's going to help you like really build on that, and then you can very much so like weave in other elements of the story of like how does this one quest is like related to how it's like people are affected by the world that is going on, or how the BDG is affecting this world and all that stuff and everything. All that, you know? That I feel like that's also like a good thing to do when you're building your story and everything. You, besides building your NPC, building your BBEG and everything, you want to build a core set of NPCs that are going to be interacting with your players and everything. You want like those core NPCs that they can interact with them and kind of like give them the rope of like what the world is like, and kind of also be kind of like those like kind of like Navi the Fairy of, instead of like the belligerent of like, hey, listen, hey, all that stuff. It's more kind of like those allies who are like, this is the world you are in right now. You are not like fully acquainted to it like us are and everything, but we're going to show you the ropes in a way that it's like more understandable, and also a little guidance of like, don't fuck around with this area and stuff and all that. Yeah. And sometimes a little flash. Yeah. Sorry about that, gang. My DM and I have just slowly been turning my character into an Ultramarine. Let me his stats real quick. I'll list them off. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. But no, very much kind of like that and everything and all that stuff. Yeah. And again, with like using an arc structure when it comes to doing like D&D and ttrpgs, like, yeah, have one arc be something that correlates to like the main plot and like really hooks them into like opening the rest of the story of what's going on and stuff. Second plot is very much party really getting into depth of like, okay, how much big shit are we in right now, and what can we do to affect it and everything. And then when it comes to the third arc as well, when it comes to the third and final arc of the story, that's where things are going to be vicious. The gloves are the gloves have been taken off and you've now put on the gauntlets. And it's going to be vicious. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than it was in like the first two ones. There are higher stakes. There are higher stakes. And that's also something you need to do as a writer for your campaigns. Make sure you are doing things that are slowly increasing the stakes of your world to make the players feel like, dang, the world has also evolved around with me. If you can have the story and the world evolve and react to the players that's happening here, I think that's also a good way to kind of like tell and show the themes that are being told in it and stuff. Yeah. What I was saying something before. Shoot, I lost it. I lost it. I lost it like a rogue. Okay, but hang on, getting my train of thought here. The arc and everything of how arc 3 is very much gloves are off. It's gonna get a little bit more messier. It's gonna get a bit more brutal and everything, and all that stuff. And I think also something to do when it comes to writing a campaign and stuff. Like, I am very much, and a lot of people also agree, that tabletop RPGs are a collaborative storytelling. It is, because you and other players are telling a story together. You're again, bone structure, the skeleton, you are providing the skeleton, and everyone else is like providing the muscle, bones, tissues, and skins and everything, and you are all creating this thing and stuff, and all that stuff. So I think also having like these moments of like the game, and even like session zeros and stuff, of checking in after like each arc of like, all right, what are other aspects of like the world you want to like be seen and told, or what aspects of your backstory you want to be told instead in this next arc and everything, is really going to help out make this story of this world feel very, very complete, you know? His stats right now are 15 strength. Oh wow. 19 wisdom because magic on him, and 10 good. Hey, pretty good. Those were good. But yeah, no, that's how I pretty much feel about that when it comes to storytelling and everything in TTRPGs. And also, like, I was gonna say Brandon Mulligan and everything, but Matthew Mercer has done a lot of talks when it comes to like telling stories, especially with Fireside Chat, of like what they wanted to say, and like they had an idea of what they want to do. And I think if you want to like get a really better in-depth detail and all that stuff, check out some of what Matthew Mercer has said about like writing campaigns and how everything and all that. And hell, even listen to like other members of the cast members for Critical Role or Dimension 20 or any other actual play, and you can get the sense, that they're very much, everybody is the storyteller as well, and aspects and everything. They all have like degrees of levels in like the storytelling as well and all that stuff, but they're all in contributing and telling a story. So I think that's also another mindset you need to put in your little brain socket as well and stuff and everything. If that makes a lot of sense, you know? Yeah. Okay. So, yay. Okay. And character's wisdom and passive perception is nowhere near as crazy as our party swashbuckler has. Jesus Christ! Oh my God. Oh lordy. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much how I will have. That's all I gotta say about that. Anything I didn't not have time to like really like put down like a detailed reference like shit list. Shit. I didn't have time to put down a reference shit for all this. Am I gonna be saying that from now on? Is that gonna be one of my phrases? That's gonna be one of my new phrases now. Fuck, I'm so sorry for all my friends and players have to interact with me with that. Oh God, he's a very paranoid swashbuckler semi multi-class. But yeah, do you guys like have any questions and stuff when it comes to writing a campaign and everything and all that stuff? I'd be happy to share with y'all and everything. And if you guys want to do more, if you guys want to listen to like if you guys want more in-depth details of like how to write a campaign and everything, I can totally do like a full-length video and everything, just talking about like how I write campaigns and everything, and give that kind of like a nice template of like how to do things and stuff, you know? God, Swashbuckler Samurai. That is an insane multi-class. That is a very, very insane multi-class. Oh, okay, I froze there a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to write a Vampire Masquerade campaign set in Gotham City, but it's kind of difficult. Okay, okay, yeah, no, this is actually okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good because that's also something that some people will do and everything of how people will very much like take like other properties of their like their favorite other properties and media and stuff and put them in campaigns and stuff. Okay, so all right, so yeah, I think Gotham City would be really really interesting to put a Vampire the Masquerade campaign. Okay, so what are you struggling with? What are you struggling with when it comes to that? Because when it comes to like doing a media of like something that you like of a different property and everything, they have their own set structure of rules and everything. They have their very canon hard lines of like you can't really fuck around, bend the rules and everything. Otherwise, this is gonna be and all that stuff. But I think very much you're gonna have to do some in-depth character analysis of like, all right, how does a system like Vampire the Masquerade work with Gotham City? Because I feel like how a lot of the things that work with like Gotham City, I feel like it'd be very, very interesting, especially with the is it the Court of Owls and everything? Would it be the Court of, are they, is it called the Court? Are they called? Hang on, I gotta Google, like, I gotta, okay, Batman Court of Owls. Ah, yeah, the Court of Owls. Yeah, I feel like Court of Owls would very much be kind of like the Camarilla of like Gotham City and everything, you know? I feel like that'd be really, really interesting to kind of like see it kind of like formatted as that. And like, I think you can also take examples from doing of like, even like when Batman fought Dracula, that'd be kind of like a nice element to like think about and stuff and everything. And also remember that something like Batman of like Gotham City is a comic book world, so there are like it's gonna be like not as like Lucy it's not gonna be like as strict as well. Like, there are possibilities you can do and all that stuff, but it has its own set of canon rules and everything. So right, okay. So I think something, yeah, okay, all right. Like I've create a macro for good and bad things to happen. Okay. Okay, good thing, bad thing happen during long rest. But I'm having trouble adding the vampire werewolf hunter stuff in the narrative of Gotham, like the nature of protecting the werewolves would be great for Bloodline. Yeah, I think very much so. I think would probably be good and everything is yeah. Incorporating, okay. Wow, you're okay. Incorporating the trifecta there. Holy balls. Okay, yeah. That might be a little bit of a lot because like yeah, the werewolves and hunters are like deeply connected when it comes to Vampire the Masquerade and everything. And also, I would probably say first start off, let's break one things down and everything. Let's see how we can integrate the vampires in together because Vampire the Masquerade is a very deeply lore heavy game and everything. They have its own set of a social structure, a political structure, and how everyone pretty much like it's very much a dark gothic noir gothic story of like politics and everything and all that stuff. So and with something in Gotham City, how it's very much kind of like I I won the books from a Twitch raffle a while ago, so I have most of them except for the newest ones. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I would very much say, okay, so Gotham City and Batman in general are very much like detective action mystery stories, very much so. That is the genre of Batman and everything. So I think very much so, what would be the core mystery for all of the people of like the kindred, the Garos, and the hunters all being in Gotham City. Like, are like the kindred trying to like make Gotham City into a new place for the Camarilla, for the Ivory Towers and everything? Is it like something like the Garos are noticing that the worm is like starting to affect the world, and like they're kind of like teaming up with like Poison Ivy to be like, hey, shit's going sideways and everything, and how Poison Ivy is very much kind of like that the eco terrorist person of like, bet, let's do it, let's save the world. That would be absolutely insane. Or would it be like the hunters coming in to Gotham City and like how, and after hearing that there are elements of the Kindred and Garo in Gotham City and they're trying to wreck shit, like very much like be absolute, like they think that they're heroes and everything and all that stuff. But when you have like people like Batman who have like the no kill rule and very much kind of like, what are you doing? You are not like, you're not the hero. You are literally the bad person here. I think there's some those aspects you can really think about as well and everything. Like, think about, yeah, think really about how, and this goes for any like TTRPG you are adapting into a different media property and everything. How does this system meld into this world, and why does this system meld in this world? What is the main core conflict for the reason of this system being melded into this world? So yeah, I hope that makes sense and everything. Yeah. Yeah. God, I'm actually surprised. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here. I'm actually surprised there isn't like a DC like TTRPG out there. Like Marvel has one and everything, but like DC hasn't and everything, which is like, okay. That'd be kind of sad. Like, I'd be interested to kind of like see like, I think how, yeah, like I think, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. The macro I created the campaign where D100, where everything in 50 above has good effect, while everything in 49 below has bad effects in the narrative. Like a bad outcome on the table, depending one of those kill. For example, if you could turn into the option, the villain Joker, I said the Joker has a nat 1 turn. And if you get the villain table, I set the Joker as a nat 1. Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, no, that is like a good world building and everything. So all that stuff, but I think very much so of like thinking how the rogue gallery of villains, how they also affected by that and everything of the system of the TTRPG getting incorporated with that and all that stuff. Okay, and like yeah, I do like that. I think that's pretty good and everything, and it does reflect on how chaotic that Gotham City can be and everything. So yeah, but I think very much so. I think you need to think about like a core main reason or even person that is causing all of this to like be integrated and for the reason of it and stuff. So yeah. Like I would say you can even like say like how I would do it and everything would be like probably like a coterie of the Camarilla representing the elders and everything, looking at Gotham City and being like, oh, this could be a good place. This could be a very good place to do. And they're starting to do it. They're starting to integrate more Camarilla law sets and rules and everything. And it's starting to ripple out to like other aspects of Gotham City. It's like even the rogue, even like the villains, the side characters, the other people and everything, and the other like maybe other kindred that are out in Gotham City that are not affected by Camarilla or Anarchs and everything. And like even like how people like Batman would like think about like being affected by this, you know? So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I hope this all makes sense and everything and all that stuff. I'm sorry for this not being like one of my longer like streams and everything. I'm very tired. I've had a busy couple of few days and everything, and I want to like get some rest and stuff. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this cool like impromptu. Okay, my opinion. Joker and Batman are the worst case scenarios for the turntable. Yeah, my idea who is behind it is either Ra's al Ghul or a villain's turn before the narrative starts. Okay. I don't know if Ra's al Ghul would be involved in it. Me personally, I don't know if Ra's al Ghul. I feel like villains turn before the narrative starts. I feel like that'd be more interesting. I feel like that'd be more effective because Ra's is very much like one of those antagonists that since they're like so far away and everything from there where Bruce is from like Gotham City. I feel like very much, yeah, like Scarecrow. Ooh, honestly, I would probably say I don't know if Bane would do it because Bane feels like he would have much honor. I feel like very much like Bane. I don't think he would very much be on to like Kindred. I would probably put my tokens and chips onto Scarecrow because I feel like he would probably be using the Kindred, Garos, and the Hunters as a new way to scare people and everything and all that stuff. Like with the fear gas and all that stuff. I feel like that'd be like a good angle to like go things at and everything. So yeah, I hope that helps out you, homie. I hope that like helps out and stuff. All right, so thank you all for hanging out with me and all that stuff. Again, I'm sorry for the short stream and everything, but I just want to do this impromptu stream and everything for the DM crash course and everything. Yeah, another idea was an accidental cause. Actually, actually, no, that'd be better. Oh, could you imagine it was actually an accident caused by Man-Bat and everything? Oh, that'd be perfect. Oh, like Scarecrow, like Man-Bat was like the first like patient zero of it causing happening, and then you have someone like Scarecrow coming in and being like, "Ooh, this could be really, really good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good." We're actually gonna be ending the stream here and all that stuff. We just had a little bit of a lesson talking about how to write a campaign and everything. So yeah, but yeah, all right. So as we always do, we support the homies and all that stuff. And so let's see who is live right now. Who is live? We have a lot of people live right now. That's awesome. Okay. I am going to send you guys over. No, it's all good. It's all good. This VOD will probably be up in, this VOD is probably going to be up and about on the Tales Guilds and everything, since this is one of our impromptu, like, sessions and everything. We normally do stream, New Orleans here, but there's a bit of a flu going on and everything, and some of our players weren't feeling the best and were losing their voice, and we didn't want to, like, push them or play without like with the remaining like players. I got someone's rated D&D if you want to rate them. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Who's that homie? Tell me who's that homie. All right. Okay. I'm ready for that. Yeah. Especially when it's the final arc and everything. Forge of Lore. Okay. Dope. Okay. Okay. Forge of Lore. Oh, dope. Okay. Ooh, I like their profile pic. Okay. Ooh, cool. Okay. All right. I'm gonna send you guys over here. You guys have a lovely, lovely rest of your night. I am going to get some rest and everything. I'm gonna get some sleeps. I'm probably gonna go to bed here early. Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you for all listening. And thank you for the hydration. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a drink for the road. All right, guys. Yeah, I will see you all later. All right, guys. Bye.